All right, so the question is, how do you play Foundry? First, let's start with this. Go to your event tab, go to your Foundry tab, go to your information guide, flip through your guide, do a little reading. It'll tell you where all your different buildings are. It'll tell you what all of your buildings do. What it does not do is tell you how to play Foundry. Like, what's the best way to play Foundry for you based on your power. So, hopefully, I can touch on that for you today and get you playing Foundry like a boss. All right, I'm just going to leave this page up while we talk about it. On the sides of the map, the east and the west, your alliance is going to port into one side or the other as you enter the Foundry. The zone that you port into is the safe zone. Nobody can attack your city while you're in the safe zone. So if you're a smaller player, if you're 60, 70, whatever, 100 million, and the average on the server is considerably larger than you, or the average in your particular foundry is larger than you, then you probably want to play from the safe zone. When you're doing reinforcements as a safe zone player, you want to split your troops up. Don't send all of your troops to a singular garrison because all of your troops could essentially get killed in a single hit. Split them up. However many marches you have, divide your total number of troops by your total number of marches and reinforce buildings according to how many troops you can put in a total number of marches. As your forward teams, so typically we will have our alliance, we will have anywhere from 2 to 4 forward teams. Those consist of one primary opener or rally lead, and then a couple of support cities. They will port out onto these different buildings and they will take the buildings, reinforce the buildings, but they then have to port away. So once they've taken a building and reinforced it and gotten it secured, your rear players, the guys that are in the safe zone, are going to send troops to those buildings, reinforce the buildings with the proper heroes. Again, make sure you're putting defensive heroes in your garrisons. um, get those cities reinforced or those buildings reinforced. This way, your forward members can move on. When they port, their troops come with them. So the rear players are really important. Make sure you guys are moving with speed. If a rally opens up, a rear player needs to put troops into a rally if they can make the rally. If you can't make the rally, obviously your troops won't deploy, so no big deal. But if you can make a rally, make the rally. Otherwise, save your troops for a garrison, send your troops to the garrison, and then be scanning the map around the building that you garrison, picking up. I don't remember what these arsenal points. I guess there's arsenal points. If the building gets taken from you, then the arsenal points that have been collected up to that point get scattered around the map. So again, rear cities can run out, pick those up, get in, garrison the buildings, support the forward cities. Forward City's primary objective is to move on to each of the buildings, take the buildings, get them stabilized, get them garrisoned, and do some general fighting against other players that are sitting on the buildings. Um, Pretty cut and dry. We'll get more advanced a little bit later as far as how to actually battle. And then your hunters, that's your third group. So you have your rears, those are the guys that are in the safe zone who don't have a bunch of power, but are active, want to play, get in the game, make some awards, and be a huge part of the success. You have your forward guys, which are out pushing, pulling, and taking buildings, and then you have your hunters, or at least this is how we set ours up. Our hunters are our strongest members. We'll take 3 or 4 of us, and basically we just run out into this zone and we just start clearing people's cities. We'll take first occupation on a few buildings, hold garrison for a very short period of time, and then we just start devastating everybody that tries to come out into this field of battle. If we see the enemy is, let's say they've come over here with 4 or 5, 6 cities, and we have our forward cities and a couple of garrison guys over here, but some big players have jumped over here and they're really trying to take this building, we will port down in on top of them and we're just going to kill their troops. We're going to wipe their cities completely out. Um, if you have a whale, I call it a whale, but if you have a big player that you're trying to attack, play smart. Don't just mob your troops at them. Watch that city, sneak in at the right time, send the proper attack, use the speed up if you have to, and maximize the damage that you're going to do. I'm not going to tell you how exactly we do that on this video unless you are a hunter in my alliance, in which case I would talk to you personal. But be smart when you're doing your attacks. So rear stays in a safe zone, supports and garrisons as many buildings as they can. Forward operating got, are going to move out, take buildings, help hold buildings, and do general warfare against all of the miscellaneous players that are out here trying to take these buildings. Forward guys are also going to help collect these arsenal points. Hunters are going to be all over the place. If you're going to be a hunter in this and you're doing it properly, you're going to use 15 or 20 ports easily inside of an hour. We typically kill well over 1 million troops inside that hour between, well, each of us will kill 1 million plus each um, as we move through and do our hunting. Uh, so that's kind of it. That's how to play. That's your three phases. Again, if you're a hunter in our alliance, hit me up. I will teach you some of the little ins and outs to make you even stronger. Otherwise, if you're another alliance and you're just trying to figure out kind of a good way to set it up, that's a great way to set it up. Put your small guys in the safe zone, have them reinforce out. Put your mids out here in the field fighting and having a good time taking buildings, collecting resources. Take your strongest 3 or 4 players and just let them go raise hell. Super good time. Hope that helps. And again, if you're in my alliance and you got questions, hit me up.